So I talked about a week ago how Cincinnati brought in two defensive players. One was Tarell Basham and the other one was Street. Well, Street has now officially signed a one-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, but Tarell Basham is now going to be a Cincinnati Bengal. So you guys have your brand new defensive end, Tarell Basham, former Tennessee Titan. So let's go ahead and learn more about him, because we talked about him before, but not everyone saw that video. So let's go ahead and kind of break down who this guy is. So this guy started with the Indianapolis Colts is 2017. Then he went ahead and went over to the Colts/Jets. So he stayed with the Colts, then went over to the Jets. He played with the Jets for a total of 3 different seasons. 2.5 technically, because he played half with Colts, half with Jets. And then he went ahead and went to the Dallas Cowboys, and then following that went to the Tennessee Titans. He is a 29-year-old pass rusher. For playoff experience, he has played a total of 1 game in the playoffs in 2021 with the Dallas Cowboys. But other than that, not much more experience overall-wise. Now, if we go look at his Pro Football Focus page, out of the 2 defensive players we looked at before, he was definitely the guy, I will say, who was more, looked at more interesting / a better player overall wise. He's a 73.7 overall grade and a 69.7 run defense with a 67.5 pass defense. Obviously, this is based on last year. So run defensive snaps, he's had 56. Pass rush snaps, he's had 106. If we go ahead and take a look, actually, let's go back to this page, because let's look at his career stats. So 2 sacks his first year in the NFL. He had 4 quarterback hits. In 2019, he had 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. In 2020, he really took off with 3.5 sacks and 13 quarterback hits. 2021, he was a 3.5 sack, 11 quarterback hit guy. And then 2022 did not have any sacks, and he had 1 quarterback hit. But if you look at the games, so he played 15, 11, a total of 11, 16, 16, 17, 7 total out of all those. And of course, as you guys can see, he's only really started a total of, 13 games. So he definitely has not been a player who's really a starter. He's more of a rotational guy, which, to be honest, for league minimum, bringing him in on a 1-year contract, which is what they're doing, that is absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. You bring in a rotational guy who, again, I said it before, and I know it was kind of harsh, but at the end of the day, will this guy make the final 53-man roster? It's very possible. It's very possible he gets cut in preseason and somebody else beats him out. But this is why you bring in guys like this for depth purposes and rotational purposes, because let's say you go into preseason, right, and you have a guy who's a 5th or 6th round pick, and you're kind of on the fence about him, right? You're like, I don't know if I really like this guy. I don't even know if this guy is for us. Well, you bring this guy in. He competes with that guy, and maybe at the end of the day, this guy becomes the starting guy on the 53-man roster, or a 5th or 6th round pick beats him out, and then he becomes the starter. Nothing's guaranteed, so if he doesn't work out, guess what? You just get rid of him, move on from him, and that's pretty much that. There's nothing, really forcing you to stay on somebody. Now, if we look at his career, right? Overall in his career, he's been pretty up and down. 2018 with the Colts and the Jets, he had his best career year possible with 69.1 defense, 75.4 rush defense, 75.4 tackle, pressure 57.3, and coverage defense 62.7. But if you look at throughout his career, he's been pretty much ups and down, roller coaster. But again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When a player does not play that much, you kind of can't look at stats or, grades and say, oh, this guy is this. Imagine it like this, right? You have a puzzle in front of you. Right now, you have the puzzle of Basham, right? Or Basham. Not every piece of the puzzle is there, though. You might be missing 30% of that puzzle. So you're going to tell me you know what that puzzle is? You're going to tell me you know how beautiful this puzzle is going to be when 30% of the puzzle pieces are missing? Then Cincinnati rolls in and says, you know what? We have the rest of the puzzle pieces. we have the rest of the, to finish this puzzle. We're going to find out how amazing, how good Tarell Basham is. Because he is now a Bengal for this year. We're going to see how good is he as a rotational piece. We're going to see if he can make the 53-man roster. At the end of the day, you got to keep in mind, right now, Tarell Basham, I think it's Tarell, he's going from pretty good defense coordinators, pretty good systems, to the best defense coordinator in the game. He's going from normal individual average Joes to the mad freaking scientist. So that's going to help him a lot. He is 29 years old, and I know the idea you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but guess what? Sam Hubbard and Hendrickson, that defensive line locker room, the brotherhood they create in Houday will bring him up to speed, and I guarantee you, if anything, even if he, quote-unquote, after this year, let's say he does make the 53-man roster, but he doesn't do anything after that. He just is a pretty average player. He will learn enough skills / be able to at least be a good piece in the system because of what Cincinnati teaches him. So, if anything, this is more or less just also helping him out to, be able to really learn a lot of things. So, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm actually okay with the signing. I'm not mad about the signing. I'm upset about the signing. I think it's a good signing. I think this signing is going to, kind of add more depth purposes. It's like Sidney Jones. At the end of the day, is Sidney Jones going to be your starting cornerback? Probably not. But he's a rotational guy that lets you be able to go draft somebody because you have someone in the roster at that depth piece that lets you be able to do this. So, I'm going to say right now, W signing. I'm going to be interested to see how he does end up playing. And there's a couple of these guys that, you guys signed throughout this offseason. I'm going to be, really kind of keeping tabs of them, right? I want to keep tabs to see, where this guy's career goes. Because, so if we look at it, that was weird. My ear just completely went silent. That was weird. Defensive end, he played his whole entire career. But he also played left side linebacker, left defensive end, right defensive end, and outside linebacker. So, what it tells me there is that, first off, he can be versatile, but it also shows me that, they're trying him out in different places, which means he's open to move. So, he might start a defensive end for the Bengals, and then move to right or left side linebacker. Be a rotational guy for a lot of different positions, and that's what you want to see out of most players, is if your guy's not a star player, first round pick, second round pick, you want to see them be able to say, hey, listen, whatever the team needs me to do, I am there for the team. So, W signing. You guys are watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.